Do you ever feel like modern games can make the base enemies way too easy? Do you yearn for the days of actually having to think before you engaged enemies, where even the base starting enemies were kind of a challenge, and if you made the wrong decision, you'd pay the price?
You don't want to take on 2 wolves? We can do it. Yeah, we can do it. We can do it. We can do it.
12 seconds later.
Well, then you might want to try the brand new MMORPG, Corepunk. What is up, guys? It's your boy Rick Kakis, and today we are doing something different, that's for sure. But I got the opportunity to play this game early, thanks to the developers Artificial Core for giving me early access, and I just want to showcase the features of this game to you guys, because it's doing things really interestingly. To be honest, there's some things that people are going to hate about this, and there's a lot of things people are going to love. If you are an old school gamer, you yearn for the days of things not being so simplistic, actually having to think before you jump into combat, this might be something you want to take a look at. So what the heck is Corepunk? Well, at a base level, the developers say Corepunk is an isometric open-world MMORPG that seamlessly blends elements of MMORPGs, MOBAs, and ARPGs. Set in a rich, atmospheric world shrouded in a fog of war, it offers a unique gameplay experience with MOBA-style combat mechanics. The game is built around an open, seamless world, character development, and progression through leaderboards in both PvE and PvP. So, it is indeed an MMORPG. You will encounter random players throughout the world. Funny enough, of all people, I came across a guy named Rick. I saved him from combat. I wasn't recording at the time, but I popped it on and he's like, is your name really Rick? And I was like, buddy, we're meant for each other, right? So that's kind of a funny experience right there of all people. Now, not only will you find random people, but you can also party up with your friends. You can see some of this gameplay is me playing with my good old buddy M-Tashed. And oh my goodness, I'm glad I did, because this game is unforgiving. You can see after we engage just the first few starting enemies, literal rats, our health is going down. And you'll notice that the person who heals us is M-Tashed, is my friend. If this guy didn't pick a healing class, we would have been in trouble. In fact, the main healing mechanic is sitting at campfires. You can either create a campfire of your own, or often near friendly NPCs, you will find pre-built campfires. And you're gonna have to sit there and regen not only your health, but your mana. And that means, like, you cannot just run into every engagement willy-nilly. You will have to plan before and after you engage large groups of enemies. Eventually, the lower level enemies will start to be trivialized, but seriously, as you're exploring the world, there is a real sense of danger. And that gets into the fog of war the developers talked about. You will have this fog of war effect. You can see as you're going through the forest, your vision is actually blocked in front of you by larger trees, and lurking right behind that fog of war could be the couple of wolves that absolutely destroyed us in the beginning of the video. You never know. There's a sense of unease when you're going through the forest at night, which is kind of cool, honestly. Also kind of scary, and again, it won't be for everyone. Something else I want to mention is, again, like that healing mechanic. If you don't have someone in your group playing support, or you don't have an ample source of campfires, or you aren't near an NPC, when you're out in the wilderness and you barely survive a fight, like you can see here, you're looking around. Again, you get that uneasy feeling because you're like, I literally cannot heal unless I create a campfire and start that healing process, which takes a while, and there's PvP in this game. As you can see right here, we entered a PvP area. Luckily, we didn't get absolutely gobsmacked by random other players, but again, that adds to the sense of unease, that sense of, you know, really worrying about your environment, not knowing what's coming around the corner when you have these PvP zones. But in terms of the base game, it is also very slow. It's slow and deliberate. Again, this is going to be something that divides people, but like opening a chest, it's not quick. You're going to be standing there for quite a while. Now, after a while, does this get a bit tedious? Absolutely. But again, it also really vibes with what the developers are going for here. That more classic, more hardcore experience. You have to actually think before you open a chest. You have to think, are there enemies around? Do I have enough time to open this chest? That's something that I have not felt in a very, very long time. Now, another thing in the beginning that can be slow is combat. You can see the basic attacks take forever, so when you're dishing out damage, you're gonna take damage as well, which contributes to that need for healing, that need for planning out where the next campfire is going to be. However, interestingly, the actual abilities you have are a separate timer from your slow basic attacks, which means as you unlock abilities, it speeds up combat dramatically, and you can chain ability into basic attack, into ability, into basic attack, and kind of squeeze abilities in between those very long, slow swings for your basic attacks, right? And so there actually is a lot of planning before getting into combat. I found myself really thinking about, all right, I'm going to activate this shout to increase my damage. I'm leading with this quick attack into a basic attack. After I hit that basic attack, I'm doing like the massive swing attack. Then I'm going back to a basic attack. Like, you actually have to think about the order of your skills, how you're going to activate them, and fitting in those basic attacks as well to just deal more damage. But something you probably already noticed from the gameplay is that there is a huge difference between my attacks and MTash attacks. I'm swinging a sword, and he's shooting a darn grenade launcher that's bouncing around, causing smoke, healing me. It's pretty crazy. Honestly, I'm a bit jealous of his class, but there really is a massive difference between these starting classes. You're gonna have these sets of starting abilities, and you also have a seemingly like a super you can activate. For me, at least, it would activate after a certain amount of hits. Now, on top of that, as you can see right here, as you continue to level up, you're going to have a bunch of different options that you can select for what to spec into, and then each option will open up another tree that you can then, choose between different perks and spec into as well. Oh, on top of that, there's also a weapon experience system, and then on top of that, of course, you have different items that you can equip to your actual character to make changes to your health, your attack, your heal rates, etc. There's a lot of customization that you can do, and although I am saying that this game is initially at least slow, deliberate, challenging, I feel like as you level up and you start to master it, it could really bend to the wayside and be a lot easier if you do really get a mastery of your character and start unlocking a bunch of things. However, also, there's probably a massive amount of harder endgame content to look forward to as well. On top of customizing your character, you're also unlocking a ton of different abilities, different things to spec into. There's crafting different food. Like I said, healing is a huge part of this game, and aside from campfires, the next main way you're going to heal is by eating food. So you can randomly find, eggplant on the ground or whatever. You can kill chickens and get the poultry, and you can eat that stuff for a small amount of healing, but then you can unlock different recipes and actually make food for vastly greater amounts of healing and potentially other benefits as well. But it's not just making food. You have a butchery where you're unlocking different recipes through going out and hunting and killing specific animals. You also have forestry, you have mining, you have weapon crafting, you have a lot of different things that you can spec into in terms of abilities you can learn and stuff like that. Now, when you're unlocking those talents, you're going to be doing a bunch of quests, and yet again, this is something that's more on the hard side. Like, this game does not hold your hand. There was a quest, for example, where I had to go and find someone's yoga mat, and it was like, search for the abandoned house. I am so used to there just being a marker over exactly where I'm supposed to go. This game does not do that. You have to actually go to the quest log. In the description, it says, north of this NPC. So you gotta go find that NPC and then go, okay, I'm gonna go north of you. It is not a cakewalk. It took me quite a while to find that. And again, all of these different things combine into a bit more of that hardcore retro experience. So I think this game is going to be absolutely perfect for a certain type of person. The person who was raised on the classic WoW, where again, if you had to go and kill wolves to get a certain thing, you just have a chance to get that thing. You're not guaranteed it. Are you kidding me? And you're gonna have to go and figure this stuff out for yourself. If you make a mistake and you fight the wrong enemies, you are gonna pay the price. You're actually gonna have to think about getting into combat, plan what abilities to use and in what order, not just spam them. And just like old school RuneScape, you might have to do a bunch of cooking before you head off into the forest. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, guys, early access for Corepunk goes live on November 26th and includes 3 unique biomes, 3 fully voiced episodes, deep itemization, crafting professions, 6 classes with 1 new class added each month, and 12 world bosses. Here are all of the different early access bundles. If you want to participate in this game, they come with various different in-game rewards. Definitely a really interesting game, quite the throwback, and a little bit of a breath of fresh air into the genre. Especially because the devs say there are no pay-to-win elements. Corepunk follows a buy-to-play model with an in-game store focused solely on cosmetic items, emphasizing fair and enjoyable experiences for all players, which, huge sigh of relief there. And of course, guys, if you are interested, click the link in the description down below to go and check Corepunk out for yourselves. Guys, that's it for the video. Hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Corepunk content, let me know in the comment section down below. If you guys want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.